Oh yeah, that's fine. All right, guys, let's kick off straight away. So we need to save this our blog guy correctly, not saving the whole HTML around it. That was an oversight from me. I did actually it didn't come to my mind again that what we were pulling from here was the whole HTML, not just the text, which is a very bad one from us. That's a very terrible design because why should I be saving the whole HTML? Really? So, have I mentioned refactoring in this class before? Have I?
So you said?
Have I mentioned refactoring in this class before? Have you guys been hearing what I've been saying since?
Yes, I've been hearing you.
All right. Have I mentioned refactoring? This thing here, this thing. I talked about it or mentioned it. Can you guys see it? Let me put it here.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, I can.
Refactoring. Yeah. Have I talked about it before?
No, sir. I don't think so.
I probably have mentioned it once in a while, but not really detailed. So the thing is, in software development, right? I don't know why, but software developers or whoever is giving names to things always find a way of using big names for something as simple as ABC. So refactoring sounds like a very huge stuff, but it's something straightforward and easy, something you know, right? So refactoring is you have a feature to implement, you have a task to complete, you have a project to work on, and then you pick it bit by bit. You do your stuff is working, right? And then you come back to look at your code and say, okay, yeah, this place would have been better. This should have been optimized if I did it this way. Um, the code would have looked neater and more readable if I have done it this way. And then you correct those things. Your code is already working, but you're trying to like make it better. So that's what refactoring is. I'm sure that's not what you guys were thinking, expecting when I mentioned that word, right? You're thinking of
Yes,
something very serious. Yeah. Don't mind software developers. That's what they do. Like when you hear interpolation and you're thinking of something big, and then you don't know that this is interpolation, just this small thing here. Picking out variables inside a string, or using variables inside a string, sorry, inside a template string. So that's fine. Let's we'll probably look at this code and refactor some part of it, right? Because we are saving this, which is very terrible. We're not supposed to be saving the whole of this HTML. We're probably supposed to save just the text, this value, and the ID. All right. Those are the two things I'm supposed to save. So anytime we want to display, we do this. All right. Anytime we want to display, we put it inside here. But saving it with this is terrible. Like it's a very bad idea. Maybe we can actually change that just now. Yeah. Let me just change that just now. So I'll just focus on it and okay, maybe I'll explain it as I'm going on to help you guys follow along, right? We're still together. Are we?
yes, sir.
All right. So I'll, I'll continue. Sorry, there's a past. Past. Bug. Paragraph. Because ID. 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 That's this ID here. Test or value. We could use the key directly, right? We could use that key directly there. We don't even need to do all of this. So blocks IE equals block. I'm sure sometimes you guys will be wondering what is this man doing because most times I start what I'm doing from behind. Like I don't start from this front. It can be confusing, you know. Block paragraph equals whatever it is. And we have blocks here replacing this. Yeah. All right. What else do I need from this guy? I think it's just the ID and the content. The ID and the value. So we could also place the ID and the value and then use the ID and the value to locate it instead of keeping, yeah, yeah. So block templates, sort of in block templates, say block paragraph. Sorry, this all had before, we don't need it anymore. Block paragraph. Yeah, let's just put this here. Let's just put this here. Block paragraph is gonna be this. Block ID is gonna be this. We don't need this. We'll probably keep this guy here for now. And then display paragraph goes through the templates, joins them, and then document the inner the templates. All right. So this is where we'll not do that loop. I get. So I'll take this guy out. Probably wouldn't need any of this anymore. I'll bring this man here. So instead of saving the template, we only use the template when we want to display it. Because why do we need to save HTML and stuff? That's we just want to test. Why are we saving what we don't need? All right. So I've taken out that join, no longer doing the join thing. This template is now going to be generated by looping through that blog object. Who knows how you can loop through an object? Anybody? Who knows how you can loop through an object? I probably must have done it here in class, but then let me still ask. Who knows how you can loop through an object?
Can't we use for each?
No, aside for each, how else can you loop through an object? Not for each, for in. I don't know. Let me check again. There's one that's for objects. I think it's for in or for off. Yeah, it's for in or key in object. Yeah, so you can look through an object this way. For off is it's for off loops through an object too. So you can use for off and for in. The two of them were just confusing me. But aside that, aside using those two, how else can you look through an object? Anybody got an idea?
Uh,
Hmm? It's fine. I'll show you.
What if is it? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
That in my
Say what you
head.
want to say. It's fine. I want to hear what you want to say. Yeah.
Is it possible to use um like index?
Index. Objects are not arrays, so they don't have indexes. They have keys.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's for
Yeah, but
arrays.
think. The fact that you're disturbing your brain is what I want. I need you guys to like keep disturbing your brain. If I were you, immediately ask that question, someone would just quickly search online how to look through objects in JavaScript. You get your answer. I wouldn't know you got it there. And I wouldn't mind though, because that's what software development is. Find the answer to your problems. How you get it is none of everybody's business. Did you solve the problem? Yes. And we are good. Nobody cares how you solved it. Just bring the solution. All right, so I'll continue. We have these blocks. We're going to be using this instead of that blocks template. All right. So where did we start again? Let's add. See here. This display.
There was something I like did today.
Mhm.
Then they used something like ID. That's for each of them. Then they passed in key. Then that key was now used for like each ID. So
So
I don't know if it's say
I didn't get exactly what all the things you said. I think your network was breaking up at a point.
like we haven't. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I think it's a bit better now.
Okay, I was trying to work on task tracker actually. So
All right.
we had different um, objects.
Mm-hmm.
Then each of those objects they have IDs. Okay, like ID one, two, three.
Mm-hmm.
Then you now use key. So you use key to now target to make them unique.
Picking out each property of the
No,
object
you are
with
using
the key.
no you use key. Yes,
All right.
to
So
now get
see what I'm
each
saying.
ID.
See what I'm saying. Let's say you have this const object. Hope everybody's paying attention. I'm not talking to only Adele. How did Adele get into my mouth? I'm not talking to only Arinze. So let's say you have this guy. A equals uh, A equals Arinze. B equals Bose. Sorry guys, I'm spelling your names with small letter. Um, sorry. C equals who is C? Udi. Yeah. Right. So let's say you have these three guys, right? Now assume you don't know what you know. These are an object that someone is probably giving you an object as a parameter in your function or whatever, but you don't know what the keys are. You don't know what the values are, but you know it's an object, and somehow you want to look through whatever is inside it. That is my question. You could pick it out with
Okay.
the keys because you know the keys, right? You could pick it out with
Yes.
the keys. But what if you don't know what the keys are? How do you fetch that? That's the question. Keep thinking, guys. We're going to have see a scenario where the objects you are receiving, the keys are dynamic in a real life scenario. The keys are going to be dynamic, so you don't even know what the keys are. It's dependent on what's coming from the front end or somewhere, any input. So somehow you should be able to track the keys even when you don't know what they are, right? Keep thinking, guys. Keep thinking. All right, so
So, sir, what are we looking for in the object? Is it the values we are trying to look
either the
for?
values or the keys, just look through it and tell me what's inside it. If you give me the values, fine. If you give me the keys, I use it to find the values. That's fine.
For each is supposed to work now. If you want
Yeah,
to
aside
use
aside those normal four, aside those normal four, you could use those normal four, right? And it will work. Aside them, how do you maybe I'm not asking the question the right way. I need you to look through it without using those guys. All right, so let me show you guys something, right? Now, what we are doing is instead of adding that long whatever to our blocks, I'm no longer using blocks templates, I'm not using blocks. We are adding it depending on the ID, we are adding the value, that's the test, the real test, the string directly into it. All right. Now, in display paragraph, instead of joining, looping through the content of the objects, all right, and joining, now we want to look through the content of the object, but then what we'll have there is just the test, no longer this thing. So we now put it inside this thing and display. That's what I'm trying to do now. So that way it makes more sense that we are saving what we need, not saving the whole of this gibberish here. Does it make sense what I'm trying to do?
No, no, sir.
All right. We had is it me arrange that are
Explain
creating?
again, sir.
Amarachi, Sebastian, Akindele. Bamidele has dropped. Oh wow. Amarachi, Sebastian, Akindele. Is this still recording? How do I know?
Yes, it's recording.
It is right. Recording in
Yeah.
progress. Okay. Are we still together? So
Yes, sir.
see what I'm trying to do, guys. If you remember, initially we had this thing up there. When we pick the test, we put it inside here, assign an ID to it, and save this inside our objects. Bah? This is our blog template object, right?
Yes, sir.
This guy. Abi, am I making sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Now we have an issue. Mhm. Someone say something. We have
Right
an
on, sir.
we have an issue, and the issue is that this guy contains elements, and then more importantly, contains these two buttons. All right, and we don't want this edit and delete button in our content. We just want to display it. When we're saving, we don't want to save the buttons because if you remember, when we tried to display it, it was displaying the buttons. We don't want that. We just want to save the text. So that was the major issue we found in our design, and we said, no, this is terribly wrong. Let's correct it. How do we correct it? We now save the test directly inside our objects. Where is that? Add block, display block, no, add block to paragraph. Yeah. So in add block to paragraph, we now save the value directly inside the blocks object. Then when displaying it is when we now add these templates to it. How do I now fetch the items in the from the object without using that for? Let's say I don't want to use that for. What do I do? I say I'll probably go back to using for, but I want you guys to see this too. Pay attention, guys. You see this object
Yeah,
class?
sir. I understand this one now.
Okay, you understand what I'm trying to do now, right?
Yes, I understand now.
All right. So you see this object class. If I say object dot, look at the suggestions are giving me: values, keys, assign, entries, apply arguments, blah blah, bind, color, create, define properties, blah 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 blah. A whole lot of properties assigned to the object class. The length, the name, blah blah blah, and the rest. Seal, freeze. You can even freeze an object so that nobody can. Yeah, this freeze. So nobody can make entries. Sorry, make edit, modify it. You can also create an object from an array. That's from entry. So object from entries, you put in an array and it convert that array to an object. A whole lot of things. You can just go create and see what it does. All right. What we are interested is in these two guys, values and keys. If I say object.values, it's going to give me a list of the values in that object. If I say object.keys, it's going to give me a list of the keys in that object. I can now look through them. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if I say object.keys and then I put in that object, which is blog, I think it's blogs. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, blogs. So if I put in object.keys blogs, it's going to return. It takes the object, blah blah blah, and returns an array of strings, which is the keys. All right. So when it returns these keys, I can now look through them and use it to pick out the values. Or we can also do this using normal for. All right. So this works too. If you console all this, you see an array of the keys. If you put values here, you see an array of the values. So you can now use, most importantly, most times is the keys you're going to be using anyway. So let's do the regular for. All right. For in. So for key in object, what's the object? Blog. If object has own property dot call blah 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 blah, we know it has the property. We don't even, let's just take this out. This should be fine. For const key in blog, um um so for each of the keys, we want to create this template. If you want to add this to our template, so we say this is key, the ID is going to be the key, right? And the value is going to be blog. No, this should be blogs. Blog, blogs, key, right? Now we can call this ID. Call this ID, right? This should work. It should work. And then yeah. So we create all of these guys. So I probably should do plus equals because I want it to keep adding to it, and then I take these out. I define template inside here so it will keep adding to what we have. Because I'm adding to it, I'll use let template equals an empty string, then look through this guy, add whatever is inside it to it, and when you're done, then make it the inner HTML of this our guy that's supposed to hold it, and then continue. Who doesn't understand what happened here? Who doesn't understand? So let's see if it works, and then some things might break though because we've changed a lot of things. So hopefully not so much breaks. Blah blah blah. All right. Blah blah. All right. So works fine. Exactly like nothing happened. So let's look at the things that we don't need anymore. We can remove those. So display the guy paragraphs to edit. This added events to the edit and delete event to the buttons, and then title. Okay, edit paragraph. Oh, this is fine. Delete. So instead of we'll say blocks because now we're using blocks. Right? Say blocks. This should be fine. Let me search for all the places we have this guy and change it. So we have it here. Yes, we have a yeah. Yeah, so this create blog. All right. So the content is now gonna be yeah, the blog. We can just save the blog directly. Yeah, it's gonna be the blogs now, right? Display blogs. We fetch the blog. I don't think we need it using the pass anymore for my battery. I might need to go turn on the generator, guys. Yeah, custom play, find each, blah blah blah. Blog dot title, blog dot content. So instead of displaying blog dot content, we should do a loop because this content is going to be an object of yeah. But let's see how this goes first. Let's be sure everything is working. Then we'll look at that. CSS, we have some random stuff. The random stuff. Let's delete one random stuff. Edit this random stuff. Add some random stuff to it. Random stuff again. Mhm. Something's happening. So when we delete, it keeps repeating this thing. Now we need to find why that is happening. Something probably might break. So when we delete, then try to add again. Oh, hold on. When we delete that happens. When we edit one and add some stuff to it, this is one, two, three, four, five. If you add adds to it, we'll add another one to make it six. Now it replaces that one. So it's on edit that we have an issue. So when you are done editing, it seems it doesn't turn off the edit button. So let's look at that. Display blog, paragraphs to edit, add event listener, edit paragraph, right? Is update true, editor ID, document. All right. That means the add blocked paragraph should be setting is update to false when it's done. Add block to paragraph. Yeah, I think you should be doing this. Whenever you add a block, set its updates to false, which is the default value it was initially. Yeah. So that should fix it. Hopefully it does. And then we'll move on. Some gibberish, add, try to edit this, add another gibberish. Then I want to add a new one. Yeah, it does. So that fixes that. We're good to go. So I think I've seen some error here in our console. Can create block in JS24. Cannot read properties of null. Create block JS24. Line 24. Properties of null. Alright, so at this point we haven't saved anything. I'm trying to read this and it's flagging an error. So probably might want to do this if this guy has a value. If oops, okay, just to be sure. Yeah, if blocks, that's fine. So we only want to do all of this when there is a block. If not, don't do anything. So that should take care of that error we're getting. Yeah, take care of it. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I don't know if this guy has a way to pause the recording. I don't think they do. So we'll probably just leave it on. So let me quickly turn on power.
Yes, sir.
Sebastian, are you still having issue with the app? Are you still having issues with the app? I think he's not even in the meeting anymore. Someone try and reach out to Sebastian. I think he left a message. I did say. Say the app is always kicking him out. So please, someone try and reach to him. Let me quickly turn on there. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
All right, did anybody reach out to Sebastian?
He didn't drop any message on WhatsApp.
All right. So try to
So try.
take. Hold on, let me do that.
Hold on, let me look.
Is it noisy? Is there noise in my background, or is there so much noise in my background?
No, sir.
All right. So these guys are complaining. We all sit together, right? All right. So let's continue. So move this guy only when there is a block, and then also Sebastian is having issues connecting. What do we do? Is he joining with his phone or something? All right. So we've been able to. We'll try and save our guy, and then see when we fetch it. We look through the contents. So let's save it first, and then so it's better when you guys visualize the data. So it's a CSS, CSS. else make what does CSS make web pages look lovely? All right. CSS also stands for cascading style sheet. Right? Cascading style sheet. Yeah. Right. So if I try to save this guy, let's see what we get. So we didn't save blocks. It's not saving. Let's find out why it's not saving. Alright, so we display blocks. We don't need this guy. We need the guy add block to paragraph, create blocks. So this is where it's happening. On the user, Agadla, blocks, things like that. So blocks. Oh, yeah, alright. Oh, yeah. I think the issue might be from here. So now we retrieve blocks. If blocks has this user email already, now blog is an ID. So you push in this object. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So how about we just save just the array of the values because we don't even need those keys in our storage. Yeah. So we save just the array because remember this guy return to us an array of the values. When I save it, you see what this thing is. So save an array of the values and then when we fetch blocks, we know that this content is going to be an array of values. And then this there is an object that contains an array. So blocks is going to be an array of objects. Oh, so I'm saving blocks as an
So
object.
we're having object inside objects.
I'm saving up blocks as an object, not an array. Using the key, the email. So blocks is going to be an object with the emails as the key. So if this guy exists, this key exists, then blocks for this guy dot push block. Hold up, this is an object. We are pushing this block. How did I do this thing? I don't understand what this line 73 is doing here. This is an object. This is an object. Tracking it with the keys. Alright. So if the key already exists, that means now this is going to have arrays and the value. Oh, okay, I get what I did now. So blocks for that key, which is an array, dot push this new one. If it doesn't, oh yeah, so this makes sense.
If
This makes sense. So let me see what this looks like here. So I'll know where the thing is breaking from. Alright. And then we want to see what was saved. after it was saved. Alright, so let's look at it. Gibberish, gibberish, create. So it's throwing an error. I need to find that error. There's a way to hold on. There's a way to retain this log. I remember again. There's a way to retain this so it doesn't. A way to persist log so it doesn't refresh. Okay, so let me tell this guy to prevent defaults so that we see what the issue is. So there's an error, but because it's refreshing, we can't see it. Yeah, cannot access blocks before initialization. Yeah, so that's the issue. So it's saying it's accessing this guy before initialization. Blocks. Where did we do const? Oh yeah, I see. So these blocks here is different from the other one. Oh, how about I call that one? What I call this block instead. Oh, this is fine.
The other one is supposed to be the blocks.
This is supposed to come from here. This is fine. Blocks, yeah. This is fine. It's not this one we're talking of. I want this to be block. Or we could just use a name that makes sense, right? Because your variable name is another important thing. It can be difficult sometimes naming variables, to be honest. So let's say stored blocks. Let's call this stored blocks. Makes more sense that way, right? So if stored blocks, yeah, cast templates, blah blah blah. So this is a block coming from, yeah. So this should be fine. Then let's also go to where we add block. Remember this one? Create block, yeah. So we're also having issues with that blocks up here. So this makes sense. Instead of calling this, so I can also call this stored blocks. So it's going to be scoped to this function, which is fine. So stored blocks, story blah blah blah, new blocks, stored blocks, stored blocks, stored blocks, stored blocks, stored blocks. This is one we created. Now this blocks is going to be referencing the one up, so it should be fine now. Let's check. Should be fine now. Yeah, so it's referencing the one up. No, I need to do this. Yeah, it's referencing the one up now. The error is gone. So we can see the block. So let's clear it again and then point out. I'll take out this console log. The error is gone. So we want to see what our blog looks like. Remember, I told you guys this. You see this thing. We only give us the values of these guys, and that's all we need. We don't need the ID. So we look at the content to see what this excuse me guys, to see what this value, object of values returns. All right, are we together?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on. Let's cannot report on the fine for each. Yeah. Line 29. This is 29. Users blog. Why did I call these guys thought blogs? I think I wanted to call this guy users blog. So, let me look for where this users blog is. Oh, okay, I see. User blog because this guy if thought blogs. So I don't know where this user thought blog is coming from now. So this should be stored blocks. So if stored blocks, then user block equals stored blocks for that the block stored with that user's email, and then we get the block card element and then look through the user's blocks and then attach the content here. So this makes sense. The error should be gone by now. Still there. Line 29 cannot report of undefined reading for each space called line 29. So that means so
It's not supposed to be stored block for that. For
I think that might be the issue. Might be the issue because our users blog is an array up there, and then we are not saying if there are stored blogs, all right, fetch the particular one that's for this user using the email. But what if there are no stored blogs for that user? It's going to return null, which reassigns this guy, assigns a null. So I think for each on a null is what's flagging that error. So assigning it whatever is there or an empty array if it doesn't have anything should take care of it. Yeah, it did. Do we understand what was giving us that issue? Did it make sense?
okay, you didn't include that empty array before.
So see, this what we did from last class. I actually had to look up to get some of them now. You see, this users blocks was defined at the entry point at the top
Yes,
to
yes,
be an
sir.
empty array.
Empty array.
All right. Now the users block, we fetch the stored blocks. Remember, the stored block is an object containing array of blocks from different people using
Yes,
their
sir.
email as the key. All right. Now
Okay.
we are saying if there are stored blocks, that means if this didn't return a null, all right,
Yes.
loop through if there are stored blocks, fetch using the key of the logged in user, fetch that person's own blocks. Do you get? So we are saying fetch, use this key to fetch from the stored blocks for that user and assign it to this our user block that we made an empty array. Do we get? Does it make
Yes, sir.
sense? Only Arinze is saying yes, sir. Bose and Amarachi are not saying anything. Amarachi and, Akindele, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
What I'm saying, does it make sense?
Hmm. I'm trying to internalize it.
And you kept quiet. Arinze is saying yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Amarachi, Alpha, did it make sense?
So I'll go and trace it. I'll have to go and trace it again after the class.
He said,
I said I would have to go and trace from where like the whole thing after the class.
oh, so
I
you
just
did.
understand the idea. I don't exactly know the particular thing you did.
So let's say you're giving up on today's class and probably depend on
No,
the video.
I'm actually following. So when it will be easier to understand when I'm tracing my way.
All right, that's fine. So let's move on, guys. So we fetch the stored blocks, and then we use this to pick out, use the email of the logged in user to as a key to pick out the blocks for that user. If it doesn't exist, if this returned on the file or null or any falsy, assign it an empty array. So this is an or. If I say const name equals Arinze or Amarachi, it's going to assign Arinze as a name. But if I say const name equals say null and Amarachi, it's going to assign Amarachi. You're going to check, oh, does the first one have a value? Yes. If it doesn't, if it's undefined, it's going to assign Amarachi also. Right? So that's how it works. Whenever the first one is a false value, it's going to jump to the second one. So that is what I'm doing. If this guy returns a null, which is what's giving us an error, assign an empty array to it and you're good to go. Alright? Alright. So now that we've got the user blocks, we look through it and then add this template. Use the template to create our stuff, right? So we'll create the template, the HTML, we'll attach it as the inner HTML of the other one. Alright? So we are good to go. Now let's create it and then look at what we are saving. Blah blah blah. It, key already exists as storage save. Okay, okay. So I think there is a duplicate key. We'll fix that. So, but first, let's look at what we are saving. So if you notice, see our content now, it's no longer an object, it's an array. So how the dates created to be today, title CSS, user, Arinze, and then our guy is just is an array. If we have one more, I'll add it. Our guy is gonna be two guys now in the array. Alright. So that way we can keep track of it clean as a string, not what we had before. Alright. So let's take care of this. I think it's having issues storing, saying duplicate key already exists. Um, so where's that creates blog? That's where the issue is coming from. So let me remove this guy. Don't necessarily need it. So the error is coming from here whilst trying to save it. So that storage service, storage services. Where are we fetching it from? Okay, for storage.js. All right. So which is save. So I'm gonna do something. Let me teach you guys something. All right. Are we paying attention?
Yes, sir.
Please, as much as possible. If you don't understand, what I'm doing, always ask me. I might get pissed at maybe I might, I don't know. But then I'll prefer that you ask me so that you will understand. Okay? Because this might be the last project I'm going to be doing. The next you guys are going to be doing it. All right? And I want you to at least see one or two things I'm doing, and then when you're on your own, you can do it on your own. I'll be always available to answer your questions while working on the project, but I need you to at least to some extent um, know what you're doing, right? So when you ask questions and ask questions and ask questions, and I think I'm pissed, maybe you're repeating the questions and you don't understand, don't mind me, keep asking, all right? Because I need you to understand. You guys notice what happened? Who noticed what happened? Who noticed what happened? I want to see who is observant. Who noticed what happened? Arinze, Amarachi, um, Akindele. Initially, when I did this, we had an error, all right? That the key already exists. Now, I'm doing the same thing, but I don't get that error again. That key already exists. I just have error here. Did anybody notice? I guess you guys didn't notice.
Yes, sir. Because you set it to fetch error.
All right. So let me show you. Let me go back to this guy. All right. So this is what I added. So let me remove it. Then I'll show you guys what we had before. I have some gibberish here. Okay, no, this is not gibberish. Yes. And I had some gibberish here. I do this. I have an error. A red stuff, danger. And it's saying uncut error. What it means is this. What it means is your application crashed. If it's a React app, it will crash. It's not going to be showing you this thing. So you catch errors. That's what we call exception handling in software development. Exception. Let's spell that correctly. Exception handling, right? JavaScript and the rest. Everything. In computing and computer program, exception handling is the process of responding to the occurrence of exceptions, anomalous or exceptional conditions requiring special blah 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 blah. I don't care whatever definition it is. Exceptions are like what they are. Exceptions. It's supposed to happen this way, except so this is like a special case, like an edge case. Not really an edge case, like was not supposed like a difference, something that's different from how it's supposed to be. An error can be an exception. So handling an exception is like catching an error, but then instead of returning this error to the user, you want to return an something that makes sense. All right. Now, how do we handle exceptions? Basically, yeah, maybe in asynchronous programming you might have another way of doing your catch, but in the end, it's always this try and catch. So you say try, and then you give it a block and write all your code, and now say in case anything happens and this code didn't run, catch the error. So they should have this here. Catch the error. Don't throw it. Don't break my code. Catch the error for me. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, it
Yes, sir.
does.
So that was what I did. Initially, we were getting this error. I
Yeah.
don't want it to break. Like what this means is your code actually broke. I don't want my code to break. I want to catch the error and handle my exceptions myself. So I say, do what? Use this try catch. All right. What am I trying? All my implementations here. So there are possible places in your code you say, okay, this place can throw an error. You put it inside try catch. If it happens, what do I want to do? Now, initially, I console log error. I might want to do console.log this error is caught. Remember, the one I did was just a string called error. What if I want to log this error caught now? Let's try. See what it's going to give us. You can see the error, right? Key already exists as storage, blah blah blah. Now it's no longer showing as an error, it's showing as a string or as a value, not necessarily a string. Because if this were to be like a React app, it's not going to break my code anymore because I caught the error. Now I can decide to say if this is key already exists or if it contains this. I already know what throws this kind of error. Right? I can now say console.log. Okay, let's say if let me even console log error message. Because I know error has a message property. I hope front end JS signs that message property too. So let's try it again. Yeah, key already exists here. So that's the message. So I could use this as my error message now. All right. But what if I don't want to return um have I taught you guys asynchronous programming? No, I'm sure I've not. So it's fine. I'll move on. I'm also sure I've not talked about, yeah, promise is also inside the script asynchronous programming. So let's leave that. It's a bit advanced. Not like you guys can grab it. You guys are smart, but then it's a bit advanced. Let me not complicate things. All right. So now let me just check if this thing is still recording. To be so terrible if we spend our time finish and it didn't record. So what I'm going to do is um I'll try to bring that alert message here. That's what I'm going to do now. So where is that alert message? We use this somewhere. We use this somewhere. Where did we use it, guys? I think it's in login. Okay. Add.js. Sorry. Alerts. Yeah. So show alerts dot error. So I'm going to try to bring it inside the storage guy. Now this storage guy, hopefully I loaded it in. I loaded it here. So alert first, main. So storage last. So I'm bringing alert inside storage. That makes sense. So I need to load alert first. So whenever I load this, I could say okay. Let me just put this in. This is a class, right? Yeah. This dot show alerts. If you don't understand anything, ask me a question. Post new show alerts. Alright. So this dot show alerts dot error. Yeah. If you don't understand, ask me a question. Sometimes I can do one magic like that or speak French. Anyone, just ask me a question. So hopefully our alert message should now be showing instead of that error message breaking our code. Yeah, it already exists. So this makes more sense, right? Right. Though we don't want to show the user this kind of things anyway. But I'm showing you how to handle your error messages too. So if you have an error message and you want to maybe show the user something. Okay, so you probably maybe it's just say instead of saying giving the error message because nothing concern the user with the key. Like why will you use a key that already exists? It's a development error. So I can just say error saving how error saving we encountered an error while saving your blog. Let's try to speak in English. We encountered an error, some issues. Yeah, it's closer to human language. Some issues while saving your blog. Yeah, yeah. So now the user doesn't know what happened. All he knows is my blog wasn't saved. You don't want to tell them all that's happening behind the scene. We encountered some issues. I said, but yeah, that's fine. All right. Now, what is the issue? The issue is that the key we are trying to use to save already exists. Okay. So let's find out why that is happening. We are still together, right? Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So add block, create block. Yeah. So this is where the issue is. This already exists. All right. And then we're trying to save this again, and it's giving us this issue. So let me do something. I probably might have forgotten how best to do this. Let me try something. So I delete this guy, and then I reload, gibberish, and save, saved. Didn't reload. Why? Okay, I stopped. I did that prevent default. Remember now. Save again. Yeah. So we should be updating and not saving. So let's find out. Look at our guy. So we have there should be a way of local storage retrieve updating local storage dot remove it set item get item clear item or you want us to reassign remove item. It's thinking it has a method to modify local storage is key. How do I update local storage items? How do I blah blah blah? How do I blah blah blah? Let's just Stack Overflow. What's it there? Set item key, like this, 25, blah 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 blah. Yeah, supposed to replace it. I don't know why it's complaining about key existing. It's probably my first time of seeing that error. Set item. Mm-hmm. Set the key. It's supposed to update, like replace it. It's supposed to replace what you have before, but this guy is complaining. Update to value. So now, set item. My favorite Sandry.in. Are you serious? Maybe they have JavaScript does it an upgrade because these guys are doing exactly what we did. If you send the same key to just replace what's there, but instead of a guy replacing, he's complaining that key already exists. So what we're going to do is to check if the key exists, right? If he exists, or we could just clear it and then, yeah, let me look at it. See what we're going to do. So we check whether the key exists. If he exists, we remove it and then save again. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So this thing we're trying to do now is what JavaScript used to do for us before. I don't know why it's throwing it as an error now. Sincerely, I don't know.
So why is there error in that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I had one this and I've removed it. So I'm gonna say type of blah blah blah. Where are we saving? Set item. So before I set the item, I'll try to consistent item. Oh, I was not thinking when the JavaScript did that, do an update. Is we that we are throwing the error ourselves here. I was thinking it's JavaScript that was throwing the error because I know it replaces it. All right. So let me remove this. I think probably I was trying to show you guys how to throw an error by yourself during our last class and then did this. So this was causing that error. It's not JavaScript because normally what it does is replace it. I was surprised it was throwing the error. Okay. Are we together? So I'm going to comment this out.
Yes, sir.
We won't get that error anymore. So if you add a second one, it's just going to accept it. Now instead of this one has just one thing, it has just one users. Okay, we just have one user anyway. So what it will do is to add to it, but it's still going to put it inside that one user because you have just one user. But I'm sure he changed it. Right? Add some more. I'm sure he changed it, but we're not going to know if it's changing until we complete the flow. So let's go back and complete the flow. We'll stop this prevents default and then clear this guy. Then add gibberish, gibberish. Right. So for some reason it's not displaying. So let's find out why it's not displaying. It's creating properly now. Then display blog, right? Storage service, logging user storage, store blocks, blah blah blah. If store blocks, so let's console log store blocks first. See if it's fetching anything. Right? So store blocks, yeah, it's fetching something. Alright. So let me try something also. If it doesn't fetch anything, I assume it's going to return null, but let me just be sure. So yeah, it's null. That's fine. So let's add another thing. It's fetching something. Now, if stored blocks obviously is coming in here, we display this blog dot title users blogs is gonna be stored blocks. What is it returning? Stored block is saying a string. Oh, I see why. It needs me to pass it as JSON. JSON the pass is that's I really don't know why this guy always want me to pass this at the second time. Where is that stop block? So let me just pass it the second time. I always want me to pass it before to maybe it's because to have an object of an object. So it should fit the issue. Yeah, that should fit the issue. We have an object. So I think it passes the first one and then ignores the second one. Alright. So guys, you see our stuff looks better off now. It doesn't have that our this thing. So now another thing we need to look at is Where's the content? Now the content is one thing. What if we have a blog that has more than one content? Yeah, so it's showing only one. So let me do a real thing so that we know when it's showing the right thing. I believe this. So let's say CSS. CSS stands for that. Gradient style. CSS has create lovely user interfaces. Right, right. And this create. Right. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. CSS helps create lovely user interfaces. So now we don't want it to just keep jam packing all of them together. We want it to put it in different paragraphs. Now, what do we do? Instead of just putting the content here, we need to loop through this guy. Remember, this is an array. Remember, this is an array. Content is an array. Content is an array, right? So we can loop through it and pick it out one after the other instead of trying to squeeze it in here. Because the idea is to make it a paragraph, right? Are we together? So I could say,
Sir.
Yes.
all right. So I could say content plus equals what um, p. Let's put another paragraph here, something like this, something like this. Oh, and I need to do another. I need to do a loop on this content. Yeah, I need to do a loop on this content for each of the blocks. I pick out the content and do a loop. Although, how else can I get out those things? I actually have to do a loop for all of them. So let me just do a quick loop. Quick block content, but for each content, for each content, um, yeah. So contents, then yeah. So I can remove this block of content. So add the first contents. So look through each of them, and then I can say contents. Let contents equals. If you don't understand, please ask a question. Then I can put contents here. So you should be able to separate them. Yeah, it does. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. CSS helps create lovely user interfaces. Now I'll give you guys an assignment. Reduce the font of this thing to be as small as this one. Reduce this one too. All right. Reduce this one, or you can even leave it, but reduce it further. But then reduce this one to be as small as this, or a little bigger than this. All right. Or if leave this one. No, it looks big. It looks big. So make this to be as small as this or this. All right. make this to be like this bold, I don't want it to be bold, so make this to be like this, and then reduce this. Then the overflow, put an ellipsis, dot dot dot. If it's more than the size of this thing, put an ellipsis, so that this the rest won't show. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm not going to do that in class. That will be you guys' assignments. So now we are able to create um, a blog. How many blogs do we have for Arinze? Arinze has. Let me delete this again. I need to be sure of something too. So I take the first one, put it here, copy the second one so this guy doesn't refresh. Although if he refreshes, it's not going to disturb. Yes. Alright. So if you create another blog, JS, JS brings life into your HTML templates, right? And JS stands for JavaScript and do not have anything to do with Java. It doesn't. Is is just a silly choice of name. Yeah, yeah. Add that. So this is the issue now. This is what I wanted to find out. So when you have more than one blog, how does this guy treat it? So I need to see what this looks like now. Stored blocks, yeah. So let's look at console. Yeah. So stored blocks. Wow, user arrange there. Content. Okay. So it's not saving the JavaScript one, or is it? No, it's not saving the JavaScript one. So that's the issue. Why is it not saving the JavaScript one? Arrange is supposed to have two blocks. So let's find out why. Let's find out why. Where's our add block? That's obviously where the issue will be. Create block, sorry. Now let me also console log. So if this guy has, okay, I think I might know what the issue is. This is stored blocks. Is an object of array. All right. So let me do something. Let's console log this. So this happens on create blog. All right. So let's console log this and try to create some gibberish. And we prevent defaults. Yeah. I'm fine. is it's always returning undefined, whether you have something or not. So let's find out why. So that's why it's not adding the second one because we're only pushing to it if. So why is it not replacing it even? Hold on. Let's look at these third blocks and even see what it is in the first place. Oh, I need to pass it to Jason. I see why. I need to pass it to Jason. I think I know why. Yeah, it's a string. I need to pass it to Jason. That's why. So before I push to it, or before I start using it for anything, let me pass it to Jason. Alright. So let's yeah, so we're seeing the two of them now. I didn't pass it to Jason, that's why. So we're seeing the two of them. Alright. Now let me prevent defaults. Let me remove this prevent defaults. So what we need to take care of is displaying the two of them now. So user blocks, let's confirm is showing two things. User blocks, which is an object. Alright. So I'm targeting, I'm really not targeting the objects. I'm targeting the guy in it. The so user block dot, let me also log this. Use console dot log user blocks and then this. Um, Alright. So let's see. Is it desktop blocks? Or this is another one? Let me just put something to know where it is. Yeah. Undefined. Alright. It's not an array. Alright. For each of them you have this. Hold on guys. When did you notice this thing changed to two? Did anybody notice? Are we still together?
Yes, I are together.
Yes, I have to get.
Yeah, so this was what like this was the issue. It was showing only one. And I was trying to find out why, not knowing that it's showing two. So I've looked and I'm seeing two here. Only to turn around here and now see that it's showing two. But so it's supposed to be according to the number we add, it will increase. Yeah. So how come it wasn't working before? I was console logging up and down to know if the value is. Man, that's funny. Let me try. I don't have any other console log up. I have one here. Are we together? So who has any question for me up to this point? Any question for me? Any question for me? So remember your assignment. Make this guy as small as this as assignment. I need this content here to be small. And then if it's too much, do what? Once it gets to the end of this thing, like if it's too much for this place, then just put an ellipsis and cut off the remaining ones. Do you guys understand?
Yes, I think we've done that before.
Have you done it before? The one you did is
Yes,
see the one you did here. Like when you keep adding this, you cut it off. So
so we did all of them, both that one and this card. I did both of them.
guys,
Yes,
did
we've
you
done
guys do
it.
it too?
Yes.
Oh wow, I'll see it. I'll see it. Now one more thing then. If you notice this man is going up depending on the size of this. So I don't want it to be going up. I want it to be fixed to the bottom of this guy all the time.
So you mean the button?
Yeah, the button, yeah. So please fix it to the bottom of this guy. Always. So I don't want it to be going up and down. If you notice this one is small, it's up. Always fix it to the bottom here. Alright? Fine. Should I give you an expo on how you do it? No. Find out how. Alright, so let's continue. Any questions so far? So this already looks nice, if not that the man is overflowing. Don't want it to overflow, right? So we can keep adding blocks, adding stuff to it. It's increasing because we made it a flex bus. It's going to move down to the other one when it's full. Let's just be sure. If it's full, it should move down to the other one. We could throw in some spaces around here. It looks like it's too compact. Hello, Mama. Happy Sunday. Wish you the same. Cake him, can't put your hand. Sorry, guys, I had a call and I was recording. I call interview people's recording. I so yeah, what was I saying? Remind me, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So I'll look at this to see if you people have done something like this, and then if you've done it, then okay. If you've done it, wait, you did it on this thing, on this one.
Yes, the card.
Alright, so I'll look at it. I thought maybe you did it on something else. So I'll look at it and copy it over to this place. Because we already made changes, except I'll merge. Hopefully there's no conflict. Alright. So now another thing is I don't think this thing looks so nice this way. We could throw in some spaces. Or do you guys think it's fine this way?
Small margin, if
Yeah.
2 or 1.
So we could throw in some margin here and then throw in some here too. If you notice it's directly on top of it. Do you guys understand? So please throw in some margin here and then some here too. Alright?
All right, sir.
Yeah, so depending on the more you keep adding blocks, the more it's keep adding them to the end of this guy. I think it's adding it to the end. It should be adding it to the end. It's adding it to the end. So maybe you could just allow this our timestamp to be real timestamp. Let's not take out this thing. Where's that quick block? Or maybe we could just leave it. There's no point tracking the time. Let's just track the dates. Okay? Um, Another thing we might want to do, hopefully this title is short and doesn't disturb us. If it does disturb us, then we will probably Yeah, that's another thing too. So you guys should look at this template, this card template. Move this guy to another element below this guy, so that if this is big, it doesn't break this way. So that it will be always under it. So that even if it's big, it's already under it. It's not going to look bad just the way it is now. We want to achieve uniformity, right? Right. So that's that.
But the title, I thought you also set limits for it.
No, the title shouldn't have a limit.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. The only thing is, we might try to limit it from here because you don't want someone to put a title that will cover all of this place. It's going to be a title, so just
What if we limit it from here then put dot dot?
yeah. If you want to do that, it's fine too. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
that I did that one.
Okay, I'm going to give you another assignment because if you put dot dot, I want to see all the whole title. So when someone hovers over it, show me the full text. Uh-huh. Do you understand?
All right, sir.
So if you put dot dot and I hover over it, I want to show me the full text because why do you want to show me half of the title? Doesn't make sense, right? Show me the full text. Look at this thing. Two steep. That's what they call it. Two steep. That's what they call it. Something like this.
Yeah, two tip.
Yeah. So I need that. So if you want to put dot dot on it, that's fine. But please move this one down. All right. Move this one down, and then if you want to put dot dot on it, then make sure that if I hover over it, it's going to show me the full thing. All right. So that's that for.
Over, oh,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
so you mean over the dot or over the button? Which one?
Okay. Let's say you have Arinze. We are looking at this. We say it's not fine that this one they're on the same line, somehow on a different line. So to save ourselves the stress, we need to make this an element that is under this man. All right. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir, it makes
Does
Yes,
that
sense.
part
sir.
make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, when you make it an element under this place, we are not saying, what if our user put such a long title, a very long title? Obviously, it's going to push out all of these things. We don't want it. So the same overflow you are controlling here, our user is saying, let us also control it on the title, so that the title will always be one length like this. Do you get? So title is going
Okay.
to be one length, the date is going to be one length.
Yes, sir.
Now, what if the title is long and it's one length? It doesn't make sense that someone can see
Okay.
all their titles. Like, I want to see the whole title, even if you think it's going to fill up the whole place. But I want to see what the title is. So I want, if they hover over it, let the whole of that title show something like this. When I hover over this guy, it shows
Okay.
something. So I want something like that. So create a pop-up. Customize your
Yes,
own
sir.
tooltip. I don't know if HTML has a default one. But I want you to customize your own. Hmm? Customize your own. Make it look like this one. Or no,
Okay, sir.
yeah, make it look like anything you want. Don't mind me. But customize your own so that when you hover over it, it shows. All right. All right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So another thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the only thing left now is this. So we want, if you click on it and you come to this place, we want to put the title, the date, the author, the image, and the this thing, and then I'm done. All right. Once we do this, I'm done. Now there are I'm thinking of how best we're going to do this now. Because you might want to pass in the ID, the user ID here, right? I don't know what this is. So I want to pass in the user ID again, and then So let's see. So I'm looking for the best way to do this, honestly, because I'm not defining routes in HTML. So I'm looking for the best way to make it by passing it here. So let me try something. I haven't tried this before. So on the blog page, on the index, this index, hold on. Okay, we need to do that same thing here too. Can you imagine? The same thing, we need to load blocks, but it's going to be all blocks now. So we need to fetch all blocks and load it here. I'll give you guys that as an assignment. Do you understand?
Sir.
Do you understand?
No, sir.
All right.
No, sir.
In why is this blocking our stuff? In create blog, we are only fetching the blocks for the logged in user, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you have two assignments. Number one is I want a user to be able to view and edit a blog. I'm going to do the view. You guys will do the edit. So I'll tell you that when we get there. But the assignment I want you to focus on now is aside this doing this aesthetics and making this look nice, right? What I want you to do is the way we are listing a user's blog here. This is for the logged in user because this is where they are creating. Someone is creating blog. They want to see the ones they created before. On the home page, you are supposed to list all blogs, all blogs. All right. So instead of fetching and then getting only the one for the user, you want to get all the blogs. Does it make sense? You want to list all the blogs so that even if Arinze logs in here, they will see my blog and their own blog. If Akindele logs in here, she'll see my blog and Arinze's blog. So anybody that logs in and creates a blog, when someone comes to this home page, you want to see all the blogs. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes, it
that's the
does.
assignment number one. All right. Now let's move on. Any question around that? No. So let's move on.
God, sir.
Mm-hmm.
When they see all the blog, would they be able to edit someone else's blog?
No, no, you won't be able to edit. We only have edit on this one. We only have edit if you are the owner of the blog. That's when the edit button will show for you. But let's take it a step at a time. All right. So now focus
Will it
on,
not make the whole page very crowded?
huh? Say again.
The home page will it not be very crowded if
Here.
display all the blogs?
Yeah, I want it to be crowded. Like this, like where they select blogs. So if it doesn't look nice to the eye, you guys can adjust it individually. Like I'll look at everybody's work. It's just like saying I go to which page am I going to use for example now? LinkedIn, right? I go to LinkedIn. I don't know if I can remember my login details. Can I? Can I? Can I remember? Um, I'm recording this, right? Yeah, I'm recording this, so this is not nice to be. I'm recording it. So let me do this instead. I already have LinkedIn logged. I already have LinkedIn logged in here. LinkedIn. Alright. Hopefully, hopefully I don't still. Alright, so guys, I'll probably use something else. Okay, yeah. Let me use this. Let me use Medium as an example. com. Looking for a way to, yeah, something like this. Now, you come to this place, you have these guys are showing us posts that are trending. All right, so they listed some trending ones, but then you could see posts. It's just that their UI is nice, so it doesn't look so crowded. But you could see posts, so you can select anyone and read about it, right? You could see posts and then select anyone and read about it. Do you understand? Now, but there's one funny thing. There's something called pagination. I don't want you guys. I don't want to talk about that now. So if you notice, pay attention to this small this thing here. Pay attention to this thing as I'm scrolling. If you notice, it gets to a point you think it's getting to the end. It jumps up, it jumps back up. You notice? Did you guys notice? Finally gets to the end.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like they paginated it kind of. So pagination is, I know you must have seen things like just looking for a way to show you, give you a good example of what pagination does. Okay, let me not digress. But pagination is like breaking it down, something that's going to be
That one.
into pages. All right. So that's what we might do here, but that would be, I think, it's outside the scope of what we are doing. So let's just list it. Let's just list it. All right. Then maybe as we get better, we get advanced, we'll start doing pagination and stuff. So for now, just list it, even if it's crowded, right? So when they click on this view blog, it comes to this place too. But if the logged in user is the author, then it should probably have an edit button somewhere. All right, we'll get to that. So what we're talking about is the view now. So one take note, um, take care of view blog. So when you come to this place, we want to pass sorry an ID to URL in vanilla JavaScript. Yeah, conform values in query string to another page using. I hope it's not React. Yes. Blah blah blah. Form direction. Photo string. Get URL. Params. Where's params coming from? Hold on, guys. They're explaining it based on what this guy. Do we have a form there? We don't have a form. Do we? Create blog. Let's do it. Create blog.js. That's display blog. Display blog guy. Yeah, it's not a form. Yeah, we can't do that. It's not a form. What we actually want is this view button. When they go to this place and then they do passing something here. So I know it's easy to do this with React, but let me try to. If you need to get the hash, yeah, is what I need using the frame. Blah 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 blah. Today we are going to blah https new URL blah blah blah. If you have a blah 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 blah, So this return URL that looks like this. Okay, okay. So let's do this. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. So I go to this place. I'll pass hash ID. Now this ID, instead of passing hash ID, I'm going to pass hash hash. I need to pass the user. Um, so we could try to fetch this the user. I'm sure I probably have lost you guys. You guys are wondering what's this man thinking about. So see what I'm trying to do, guys. Let me explain my thoughts to you guys. So we have this blocks guy, right? And then inside this guy, we have the different blocks. We have the user, arranger, blah 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 blah. So we want, if you select one block, we want to find a way to fetch that block from the local storage, so we can display it here. So let me do something. I need to look at this our block thing again. Let me look at this stored blocks again to see how it is. That will determine how we fetch it. Meanwhile, let me copy this. So console, go back to this place, restore blocks and objects. Now we'll pass in the username. We do not just want the username, we want to get. Sorry guys, let me take this call. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I had to take a call. Um, let's continue. So I want us to see what this looks like. I've done that. Let's see what it looks like. All right. So we could decide to use the index, which makes sense, right? Because that index is unique. So if it's you pass in the email and then the index, so we would have actually used an ID to track it, but the index too is unique. So this will help us to track the exact one that was clicked on. All right. So we'll pass in the email So that will know the user, and then we'll pass in the index. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Um, just make sure. So search, and then URL search params. So let me try this. I'll try to use this search because that will we'll be able to pass two things. All right, and then hopefully this should return the URL search param. If it doesn't, we'll probably do the parts and then index. That's what we might do. Yeah. So let's try this. Let's try to use this. So this is how you do query. What's it called? URL query params or stuff. I think that's what they call it, query params. In your this thing. So I'm sure if you go to Google, let's say you search for something on Google, how to cook beans in JavaScript. Yeah, how to cook beans in JavaScript. Now, pay attention to this place. Google.com slash. It provided a URL key search, and then you have this question mark. Sorry, slash search. You have this question mark. It's now start providing the keys for the URL params. Q, and then equals some long stuff, and source ID equals some long Chrome, and IE or whatever UTF-8 blah 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 blah. So this is how you pass data in your URL this thing to your backend. So this obviously is going to Google's backend. So when it gets to the backend, they pick out all of these values and use it to do what they want to do. So that's exactly what we're trying to do now. So we to create that, let's not use this hash. We want to pass two things. So we could say slash this, and then hopefully this works. Email, email, email is going to be whatever, and then and where is that and index say 0. So let's see how it goes. If this works, then we are good to go. So I refresh this. Yeah, so we passed it. Email. If you notice, even though we specified another part, but because it's seeing it as params, it's not telling us that the page doesn't exist. It just does what as this thing. So if we're able to fetch this from there, we could use it in this page. So let's try to fetch it. Let's try to pass the real thing instead. What are we trying to pass? We're going to pass the blog, the so hold on. Let me look at the content again. I always forget what the structure of this thing is. I can select it on this page. So we are going to pass in the user. So we're going to pass in the blog.user and then the index. So this is blog. So pass in email. So instead of saying email, I can say user or username or email. Let's just call it what it is. Email blog.user. Pay attention how I'm using interpolation to pick it out. Right? And then and index. Alright. Index is not going to be 0. It's going to be what the index is. So remember I told you this for each loop. Where is blog? This for each loop can take two parameters. The first one is if it's one, it's going to be the elements it's picking out one after the other. If it's two, it's going to be the index. I can take out the index too. In that case, that'll give me the index of the guy I'm talking of. Then I can put that here as I. Or let me just call it index. All right. Then I put index here. If you don't understand, please ask me. I'm begging, please. So now let's take a look again. So if you click on one, this should be the second one, I suppose. Yeah. So remember, indexes start from zero. So it's 01 for the second one. So it's one. And the email is arinze at okay, yeah, it's going to add all of those. Hopefully, this is able to this convert is comfortably to this thing for us because he's having issues with this email. So hopefully, converts it comfortably for us when we try to fetch it. So now what we're going to do is we already passed the guy. What we're going to do is so this is exactly what you guys are going to do on the view of this man. Because remember, it's coming to the same page. This man, the view of this man is coming to the same page, but it's not passing that thing. So you guys will do this thing I'm doing there now. Create blog. This guy comes here. So let's try to get this now. So how do you fetch it? New URL, and then you fetch the URL. So the URL we should get it from Windows the location. So let me check. So the page is going to its view blog. This page. Does it have a JS attached to it? It has just the main JS. So let's create a view blog JS. Um, New file view blog.js. Yeah. And what does this view blog.js do? Is hold on, let's copy what we have from these other guys. Um, yeah, content loaded. Let's also add event listeners in case we need it. Yeah, so add event listeners. For now, we don't have any event listeners, so let me just take this out. Take this out. Now, what we want to do here is to fetch. Um, so I'm probably have to define fonts URL equals empty string. Right. Let's sorry. So it's loaded. Oh, we don't even need to wait for it to load anyway. So URL plus window dot location. Sorry, it's on window dot location. So let's console log this guy. See what it's fetching. Should give us the URL. Alright. Into this page again. Refresh. Let's show us anything. I don't think I've linked. I'm not linked. I'm not linked. So where's view blog? Yeah. Edit scripts. Shall see that access script. If you don't understand what I'm doing, please let me know. If I shout, still let me know. Window location not a function. Did I call it? Did I call it? That would be very silly if I did. Can you imagine? So it gives us a guy, location, href, blah blah blah, pages, origin. This is all inside protocol. Oh, all right. So we can say window of location dot search. That will give us the guy we want. This is the guy we're looking for. But how to convert this guy now is what we need to take note of. All right. So let's try to use this new URL and see if it converts it fine. If it doesn't, to find a way to maneuver it. So new URL from the URL. Let's see what that will give us. All right. So search params. No, 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 no. It's not what we want. Search params is returning. Convert search params to objects. Upload, not node. Okay, okay. Object of phonetics, new URL search param, window location dot search. Okay. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. So this will convert it to an object. Yeah, this perfect. This should be perfect. Search param, object of commentaries, URL search params, windows dot location dot search here, and then consider log params. So this should solve our problem. If I refresh again, yeah, we have it. Oh, I know. It messed this thing up. It messed this thing up. Um, I messed it up. How do we mess the email up? So probably should find a way to fix that. Um, oh, hold on. I think I even passed the wrong thing. Oh, guys, I passed the wrong thing in that create blog. This thing I did. It's not supposed to be blog.user. I'm not supposed to pass blog.user. I'm supposed to pass the email, and that email is not the user, I believe. So look at this. The user is the name. I passed the wrong thing. How do you get the email? The email is like the key inside the object. So I know what I'm gonna do. So I passed the wrong thing, even. So the email is like the key. Um, so this stored blocks. So this is email. Yeah, this guy we're looking for. But it's always okay. But then So it's always going to be the email of the one that no, it's not always going to be the email of the logged in person. For this one, this is correct, but on the other side, you guys have to find the email. So for here now is correct. When you have to do the other one, that would be how you what you bother about. How do you pick out the email from that object? Alright, so this is the email we're looking for. Yeah, so probably I'll pass it correctly now. Email arins at gmail. Yeah, it's passed correctly now. Arins at gmail.com. Yeah, it makes sense. Now we can come to view blog. Now we're able to get the params. So let's say search params. Alright, don't need this anymore. We've been able to get the search param, and then inside it we have email and index. Alright. Now what we need to do is to try to fetch the this thing again. Exactly almost the same thing we did in create blog, create.js. So try to fetch the stored blocks, and then when we fetch it, instead of looping through it, we want to just pick out one thing out of it. So fetch the stored blocks, we loop through it, and then whenever the email matches what we're looking for, so we'll pick it out. Did I cut or did I copy? Okay. So we fetch this guy. So user blocks. I'll need this. Sorry, this is what I mean instead. I'll need this. So stored blocks. Fetch it and then we'll pick out using the email. So have Sonny,
Yes, sir. How about you?
I'm fine. How you doing
How
now?
do you okay?
Thank God.
Fine, sir.
Yeah, well done.
I beg, one more time, make I come for now, sir, abeg.
All right, no wala.
But I will just like today, if you dey, if you full abeg, we go just come for this week.
All right, no problem. Sorry guys, for the small distraction. Fetch, um, fetch what? Fetch blog, yeah, or get blog, or g blog, whatever we want to call it. Fetch blog, yeah. I'll create a function, fetch blog. All right. So what does this guy do? Is we need to create storage service, bring in the storage service here. All right. So let's bring in storage service. How did we bring in storage service at the other guy? Yeah. So let's do this. Storage service or retrieve. Log, is it logged in user? I want to log in. It's not logged in user. I need the blocks. Store blocks. Yeah. This is the one I need. Not the login user. Store blocks. Using the process I will retrieve blocks. Yeah. So when you get the blocks, you want to get the one that's for that email. This email. So search params dot email. All right. Search params dot email. So let's console log. So assign this to selected log equals this. So let's console log Yeah, let's go back again. Hopefully, storage service is not defined. Oh, okay, I think I know why. Whenever we, this one of the annoying things in vanilla JavaScript or front end JavaScript, sorry. Whenever you make reference to a class or something from another file, you need to import it in that listing. So we need to go to this view blog now where we are making use of storage service and link storage service to it. So go to view blog listing and link storage service here, right before the one we are using it in. So script, so I'll see this guy, sorry, sets script storage service. That should take care of it. Hopefully we don't get that. Show alert is not defined at new storage service. Show alert. Yeah, I need to import show alert too. But storage service is using show alert. I hate this part of plain JavaScript. So with React and the rest, you don't need to do all of this.
So can't we import in JavaScript?
So if you want to do import, you might have to start using all these what they call it, is it Webpack or something. That's where you can start doing all those modular stuff, import, export, and the rest. Do you get? I don't think there is a way
Yes, sir.
to do it on your plain vanilla JavaScript. You have to start using our Webpack to do it. So we wanted to do import. I just forgot one alerts. Yeah, alerts. Right. So selected block is on the at least we don't have an error anymore. So I think creating modules in vanilla JS. What is the module? Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Easier to use a model you import for the part where it's kept because yeah. So you do the import from blah. So try this. I'm sure it's going to give you an error. It's going to only work in React and the rest because those ones they already have that is it Babel or whatever. Yeah. Blah blah blah. Imports is from JavaScript. So you can check it out. I'm sure. I'm sure you have to start you use Webpack for it. Or maybe how to use ES modules, straight type module. Or maybe there is an update on it. I don't know. Or
Yeah, because they were talking about modules. Like I don't know, but it's
it's,
only React I know about it.
yeah, but I'm seeing from what I'm seeing here, it seems they have a
The
type of
latest version of
I'm seeing a type of script
JavaScript.
called module here. You see scripts and then type module. So probably there is
Yes, yes.
you can research on that. Maybe they've done updates on it. But initially, you need to use Webpack to do all of those. The only place you can use modules out of the box is all those what they call it single page applications, React, Angular, and the rest. Yeah, I can check it out. It's possible too. Who knows? I'll check it out myself too. So that's fine. So let's find out why this our guy is undefined. So but we've been able to load them. So let's find out why our guy is undefined. So first load blocks. Let's start from there. So yeah. So it has a thing, it has an email. All right. So let's look at that email. So, so put this here. Select the box. Yeah, it is fine. So what this is saying is search param email might not be showing something. So let's find out if it's showing something. Yeah, exactly fine. That's why. Actually, there's nothing here. Yeah. So now we have a thing. Yeah. Email. That makes sense. So selected blog. Then we use the index. So what's the index of the one? Search param.index. So you can pass the index here too. Can actually change these guys. You know, right? But I think this is an array already. Yeah, so you can change the so search param.index. Yeah, yeah. So you have the particular one we are looking for. Now we can pass in the title, we can pass in the date, we can pass in the author. Um, we can also put the content. We don't have an image yet, so that's fine. So let's pass in the title, the date, and the author. Those are the two most important things, the three most important things, or the first things we need to look at. So this is selected blog. Um, so let's do this. Probably need selected blog to be somewhere up here. So it's gonna be objects, yeah, yeah. So look at empty objects, yeah, empty object. Then we'll assign a value to it here. All right. Fetch the blocks, and then where's the view block HTML? Yeah. So fetch the ID of the title. Give it an ID. Title. It's ID of author. The title, date, author, assign the values to the appropriate guys. So this is supposed to be easy. Okay. So assign the value on the selected plot to the appropriate element. I don't know why my hand like typing key all the time. All the time. Alright. I really don't need to define this up anymore if we do it here, but let's continue. So say documents dot get element by ID title title dot inner then just use inner HTML equals selected blog but what's inside it. That's actually weird. Hope I did not save. 'Cause I'm having an error here. Oh, I think I removed that console log. I want to see what's inside this guy. So selected blog dot title dot user and dot date created. Those are the three guys we're looking for. So created. So this is gonna be dates, this author, this date, right? Right. Should work. Yeah. So CCVA date is not working. Narrator. So I need you guys to add a UI difference to this so that it makes sense. But this is title. But if you notice, it's just showing text. So I you guys work on the UI, and then the date is not showing dates, and then the author is showing. So you probably might just put a label. Look for a way to make this UI make sense. This is the title. You can maybe write type. Just put the title, and then under it, you can put the author somehow beside it. Find a way to do it, right? Just look at different websites. Maybe like Medium. Medium is a blog site, so it might make more sense to look at Medium. Medium.com. So you probably see how this is the author, and then the listing, the title, the dates. So something like this. Just find an inspiration somewhere and arrange it, right? So maybe you can click on the view. So you can click on the view. I have something like this. So that's what we're trying to create. All right. So let me just find out why the date is not working. So view blog HTML ID. Oh, I called it data instead of dates. Yeah, that's why it wasn't working. So it should be able to work now. Yeah, so the date is showing. So please guys arrange this. So the another thing I need to do is this, the content. Now the content is an array. So I'm gonna do exactly what I did. Sorry, what I did here in a create blog. Exactly what I did here. So I'm gonna do this and then have a div where I can put in all of those guys. Alright. So the view blog, the HTML, the content is supposed to be somewhere inside here. So I'm gonna give it an ID of contents, right? Right. So let's just say blog content. Right. Right. So take out this gibberish, add that gibberish, and then you assign whatever we get from this selected blog. All right. All right. So I'm gonna try to paste this guy. We've already done it, so I didn't think I'll need to do it all over again. So I'm looping through this guy, the selected blog, the content. So selected blog dot content dot for each, then for each content, pick out the content, put it in a paragraph, and assign it inside that guy. So element get element by ID contents, puts document dot element by ID, what's the ID, contents, what's in a HTML equals what this guy here. Alright, alright. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So let's see what it looks like. Hopefully it's fine. Yeah. So does it mean that I have just one content? So let's find the one that has more than one content. I think this one does. But unfortunately the whatever is hidden. The button because the overflow is not overflowing very well. So it's hidden somewhere inside all of this man, all of this guy. So let me just add one that has a very short content, but two contents. Create. So that will be the last guy. I select it. Yeah, you can see it. So it's fine. The template is very fine. Like it's already arranged. So all we need is to do what? For not found. This thing is making reference to a CSS in view blog HTML8. In view blog HTML8 is trying an error. 8. Making reference to a CSS that doesn't exist. Is it 8 and 9 or just 8? 8 and 9, yeah. So somehow, I don't know. I don't know why it's complaining. Oh, so that guy doesn't exist anymore, I see. Probably that's why he's complaining. Figure it out and it's fine. So guys, how many assignments now? Arrange this guy. Look for inspiration. Everybody on your own. Arrange this guy to make more sense, right? Right. And then this is the title, this is the date, and this is the author. So arrange it to make more sense that way. Now these are the paragraphs. So wherever it is, we'll see it here. So this doesn't need much work on it. This is where you need to do work on. That is assignment two. Number one is make this fetch the all the blogs on the system, not just for the particular logged in user, all the blogs. So go through how we fetch the blog. Look at that place to fetch the blog. Look at the place we fetch the blog for the logged in user, and then do what? Do the part where we only fetch the blogs. Forget about the login user, and then display them here. All right, all right. And then that's number one. Number two is the view. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. So that thing we did on the other side, where if you click on the view blog, it will pass in the URL and whatever, the email and the index we use it to fetch. I want you to do it for this too. But you don't need to do it on the page. All you need is to pass in the ID and the email of the blog, the owner of the blog, for any blog that's clicks on inside this one. So we've already done it on the view page. What will fetch it on the view page? Just pass it in on this click, like I did, and then it will send it to the right to that page, and that guy there will fetch it and display it like he's doing here. Then adjust this guy. All right. Any questions? Any questions, guys? Any questions? I don't know why this is showing this.
I said the assignment is a bit confusing. Okay. I think that's my handwork. I just have to take it out.
Okay, is it how to fix it that's confusing?
No, what I mean is the the assignment is a bit confusing now. It's just too much. Why is
Okay,
this guy showing?
I have three. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? I don't know.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how this whiteboard came up here. I don't need a whiteboard.
I brought it out. I'm trying to remove it.
Okay, I'm wondering how the whiteboard just came up. Yeah, it's fine. But you guys can see my screen, not the whiteboard, right? Is it my screen you're seeing or the whiteboard, guys?
Yeah, but your screen is empty.
You can't see my screen.
I can see, but it's empty.
Ah, yeah, I can see code too.
Okay, I can see it now.
Fine. So I just wanted to be sure. Yeah. What was I talking about? The assignments, yeah. So I think this is the assignment, right? Three things. On this page, this is we listing the blogs created by this guy. If I log in with another user here and create blog, and then I will only be seeing the one for that user. I won't be seeing this ones again. Let me show you.
Hmm.
Where's
Oh
Bennett?
man, okay.
Somehow, why is this man saying it can't be reached? I don't understand. So I think that I log out. Probably some things might have changed. I don't know. So let me create another user. Um, what's sorry, Akin Bele Bosse 1 2 3 4 5 Bosse at gmail.com, right? Sign up. If I go to create blog, I'm not expected to see all those blogs we created now. You can't see it. Do you get? Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
So we can't see those ones because those ones we are it doesn't
Yes.
mean that it's not existing. If you check, you see it, but it's attached to Arinze. That's why we can't see it. See the blogs here, but we are fetching only for Arinze. It's still existing on the storage, but we can't fetch it because we are telling this guy fetch and then filter by the username. So this page will only be displaying the ones for the logged in user. I've already done it. Now all you need is to fetch just like we fetch, but instead of getting according to display the logged in user, you display everything. You look through it and display everything here. So whether the blog was created by 5 different people, we want to display all of them here. It's going to be a
Okay,
bit
sir.
tricky, but I need you guys to do it. This is probably the most tricky assignment I've ever given you guys because it's not about how to do it. It's about finding a solution, a logical solution to it first. Logic is actually what makes you a good developer, not the syntax. Everybody knows the syntax. It's the ability to solve a problem that makes you a good developer. All right. So I need you guys to figure out how to do that. Um, assignment two is um, let me log out. I'm logging with the other user again. So this thing is messed up. This our what's it called? This our redirection from logouts. I don't know why. Maybe we'll look at it next class. So let's log in with Arinze now. Value login details. So probably give you guys another assignment that have to do with showing and hiding this thing. But for now, let's just continue with the one we have. So we have number one assignment. List all the blocks here. Very simple, but a bit what's it called? Tricky. Because I'm logged in with Arinze, I can see all Arinze's blog now, right? Right. So number two assignment is arrange this place, make it look nice, right? Number three, on this page, when you do it, pass in just the same way we are passing in the ID. If you notice, if I click on view on this one, it doesn't pass in those ID and stuff here. But if from the one we've done already, when you click on it, it passes it. And because it's passing it, that's why all these things are being displayed. I probably should put a guard here if nothing is passed. Just show a 404 page. You might just do that randomly, but for now, let's just continue. All right. So yeah. So let's just continue. So do you guys get the three assignments? Does it make sense? The three assignments. Any questions? Arinze, Akindele. Akindele is not,
The third assignment.
which is passing
The third
the
assignment.
email and the index of the blog that's selected here. When someone selects this, you need to pass the index and the email to this guy, like we are doing here. If I click on this view, watch here as I'm clicking, watch here. If I click on this view, I'll pass the email of the guy selected and the index. That is what I expect you to do here too. Also watch there, watch here. If I click on this man, it doesn't pass anything. Alright. So what I expect you to do, please let me call you back. I'm in a meeting. Thank you. So what I expect you to do is to pass in this too as you click on this. Alright? Does it make sense? Are we together? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any other questions around the
Yes, sir.
assignment?
Hmm. I just hope we'll be able to get the assignment done.
Amarachi, are you also saying you hope you'll be able to get the assignment too? Arinze is doubting
Huh?
his Arinze is doubting his ability. Are you doubting your ability too?
Hey, God, abeg. I'll try my best.
Arinze, what's the amount you use for
Sir, I'm
subscription every month?
uh, okay.
How much you
Actually,
spend on your subscription every month?
somebody is hosting me, but I know it's really much mega data.
So probably you spend up to like 5,000, 10,000 monthly on
Sir,
subscription.
my own problem is having time within the week. Within the week, ALS just they just tend to confuse my head every week.
Yeah.
So
Let me even stop recording. How do I stop?
okay.
Man, this will be another annoying thing. Like
The
recording
other red button.
this doesn't work. Probably from here. From here.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you sure you would like to stop it? Yeah, I know.